Oh, is it my turn?
Yes, exactly. 5.1 seconds, go.
Good morning, Carolina. Live at the Cumulus Broadcast Center here in Fayetteville. I want to welcome you to the first hour of Good Morning Fayetteville on News Talk 640 WFNC and 103.5 HD2. This is Monday, February the 2nd. I'm Gilbert Baez. Kenny Hitman McClain is over there, and he has a story to tell why he's over there. We'll get to that part. CBS 17 meteorologist Matthew Huddleston says that it's going to be mostly sunny today. High temperature about 35. We'll have the complete forecast coming your way in just a few minutes. Right now, 19 degrees across the board in Fayetteville, Fort Bragg, and also in Spring Lake. Got your headline news at this hour. Most interstates and highways across the state have been plowed, but many major roads are still covered with snow, and ice is a problem. The threat of icy roads has forced many schools and universities and local government offices in our area to stay closed today. Police say a woman suffered a minor gunshot wound when a man she was with fired a gun inside the Fayetteville Walmart. Authorities in Johnston County have arrested a woman they say was driving more than 100 miles an hour near Princeton during Saturday's snowstorm with a child inside the car. And after 18 years of shaping regional health care, Cape Fear Valley Health CEO Mike Nagowski is stepping down. We'll have all those stories and more coming your way, but first, local news from CBS 17.
Good morning from the CBS 17 newsroom. I'm Bill Young. A winter weather advisory is still in effect this morning because of the cold and the snow on the roads refreezing and creating very slick patches of ice. The snow didn't melt on a lot of the side streets, and that makes them impassable. 3.5 inches of snow recorded in Fayetteville, although Pinehurst saw 7.5 inches hit the ground. The good news is temperatures will climb today to near 40. Most school districts throughout central North Carolina will either operate remotely or close entirely.
Yes,
Cumberland, Hoke, and Harnett are remote. Sampson, Moore, and Robinson are closed. And a heads up, FAST, Fayetteville Area System of Transit, closed today. 3 flights are canceled at Fayetteville Regional Airport so far as well. And as the extreme cold is officially here this morning, Duke Energy asking customers to reduce their usage until 10 this morning. Officials say that is when demand is expected to be at its peak as people wake up, turn on the heat, and businesses reopen after the weekend. A man is under arrest after a shooting inside a Fayetteville Walmart. It happened Saturday afternoon at the store on Skybow Road. Police say a woman was grazed by the bullet when the man she was with fired the gun. The pair then left the store together. Police tracked them down, and they determined the woman was not seriously hurt. The man was arrested and charged with carrying a concealed weapon and discharging a firearm within the city limits. The CEO of Cape Fear Valley Health will retire this year. Michael Nagowski's retirement takes effect on July 1st. He's been CEO since 2008. Chief Operating Officer and President of Cape Fear, Dan Weatherly, has been appointed to the role of interim chief. From the CBS 17 newsroom, I'm Bill Young.
A very nice and sunny day, but also a cold day is in store, seeing highs just in the upper 30s. Mostly clear skies overnight, temperatures tomorrow morning back in the upper teens, and then increasing higher level clouds for the day on Tuesday, with highs finally back in the upper 40s. That's your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Matthew Huddleston.
All right, Matthew, thank you so much. As I said, 19 degrees right now. Not much has changed. 19 Fayetteville, Fort Bragg, and also in Godwin. You're listening to News Talk 640. We're WFNC.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. At Lowe's, Blueprint Takeoffs turn your blueprints into quotes faster. Bring your plans to the Lowe's Pro Desk and get help streamlining the estimating process. Then, when your order's ready, Lowe's delivers to the job site.
Good morning, Fayetteville with Gilbert Baez. On WFNC, News Talk 640 AM and now at 103.5 HD2. Your information crossroads, WFNC.
Well, yeah, it is. Five dimensions. What a song that was back in 72 or whatever it was.
I love
man.
that coming on the AM radio on trips with my mom and pop. That's what I remember.
Well, this is the age of Aquarius because we don't know. This is the Aquarius time of the year, I guess. Is that what that was all about? Do you know?
Actually, I was just trying to do something kind of cosmic and upbeat because, it's a new day, and it's just been so wacky, and we've had dramatic changes. It was coincidental. I was going out to go get some coffee.
No, you didn't. Yeah, that's a good story.
No, right.
Yeah, tell me
And
what happened.
No, let's. My point is that everything's changed for me always when I came into the parking lot because I decided to do an overnighter.
Right.
So I wouldn't worry about the steps. So anyway, when I came in, it was fine, a little crunchy snow, no problem. But when I went out to go get my coffee, Gilbert,
right,
you know what it was. It's like ice everywhere. The snow is kind of like just like boom.
It's packed. Well,
Yeah.
and we were talking about that. I did the play-by-play coming in, as I normally do when we have bad weather. And just to give people a real-time sense of the snow, telling them how fast I was driving, watching out for some of the pockets. And, you're going to be okay if you have to get out because you're mission essential. But the DOT and everyone is still saying, stay home. Governor's asking folks to stay home. Mm-hmm. They've done a pretty good job on Highway 24. I think Interstate 95 and 40 are okay. But Interstate 85, I don't know if you saw the pictures yesterday, that got shut down. And, motorists were trapped on the roads there. And that can become a pretty dangerous situation, especially if you need medicine, if you're on the road there and you run out of gas, which just adds insult to injury because now you can't get around the 18-wheelers and you can't get around the car that ran out of gas.
Yeah.
So, it was really pretty messy out there. I want to share with folks some of my pictures at the house here that's in front of my house. You can't see it, but you can't see it. But
yeah, the camera's
folks,
looking at
we
me.
have we were simulcasting. Obviously, this is our podcast as well. So folks who are watching on either Facebook or on my YouTube channel will see these pictures. Everything's covered in snow, and the picture I'm showing right now is two Jeeps in the driveway covered with snow yesterday as the snow was coming down. And Doris said, my God, what are we going to do? Well, we didn't know when it was going to stop. And, of course, now the next picture is me cleaning the driveway. All these are on my Facebook page, as a matter of fact. And I shoveled the snow. I was out there shoveling the snow with just a regulation, flat edge shovel. And God bless little Milo across the street. He looked out, and I already seen that he and his mom had already shoveled their snow. And I said, man, they got a nice shovel over there. One of those nice snow shovels, nice and wide.
Wide ones.
Yeah, I said, I'm not going to bother them. They were in the house. But little Milo said, look at Mr. Baez. He's over there with that little bitty shovel.
How old is Milo?
About 6.
I'm pulling away from the mic.
He said it's a crying shame that 70-year-old man is out there with that little shovel. He's going to take him forever if he doesn't have a heart attack before he finishes. Ma? Yeah, Milo? Ma? Yeah, Milo? Do you think there's any way that we can loan Mr. Baez our nice big snow shovel?
Mom's voice was awfully deep.
Okay, let me fix that. Yes, son. Yes, Milo.
Thank you.
Yes. Do you think there's any way?
So anyway.
No, let me finish.
All right.
Don't break me down. Son, do you think there's any way
I'm not laughing.
we can bring our big, nice shovel over to the old man over there who looks like he's about to have a heart attack with the little shovel?
I'm getting ready to have a heart attack.
and so I saw the garage door open across the street, and lo and behold, here comes Mom.
Aw.
Gil. Yes? Milo saw you struggling. And he said, Ma, is there any way we can loan a big snow shovel to Mr. Baez who's about to die? And she said, of course, son, we can. He cuts our grass on occasion. The least we can do is loan him the shovel. Get back by the microphone, man. So anyway.
And then
he gave me the shovel.
All right.
And I went to work. Here comes Doris out the house. Honey, you okay? I said, yeah, I'm shoveling. She said, where'd you get that shovel from? I said, Milo came up and said...
Okay, that's it.
Okay.
No more laughter. I can't take it.
Okay. All right, man. Anyway,
I
so
like your story much better than my
anyway,
story.
I got the shovel. So I'm looking and I'm going Facebook Live as I'm shoveling, right?
Right.
And I see in the picture my wife bent down making a snowball.
Aw.
Yeah.
Good.
She threw it at me.
Excellent.
5 snowball fights on, baby.
That's why I love that door.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I said, oh, yeah, you want some of this, huh? Yeah. So, and I went Ranger mode on her, too.
Oh, yeah?
I was like, I was firing 2 or 3 at a time.
Is that right?
And the one she used to throw at me, I'd catch them and throw them back.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, she's kind of slow on her, though. You know, she throw like a girl.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, we go get some calls now.
All right.
You're right, from some baseball. I'd show you a throw like a girl. Come and try and hit some of my softball fast speed. Yeah. Anyway, so we're all good. Now, all right, all that said, all that fun is good. I really hope that you got a chance to get out there and enjoy the snow because it was that kind of snow. Now, you can't see this picture, and I'm going to bring it back up when Greg Fisher comes on at 7:10. So I get a call. I get a text from city manager Doug Hewitt, and he was in here,
Right.
and I think they bought like all the sleighs that you can find in the area because they were anticipating this snow. And he sent me this picture. I'm putting it above him, and he's got. You have to see it. He's in there. As a matter of fact, while I'm describing this, take your headphones off and come over here because I want you to see it because it's funny. And so he blamed Greg Fishel and the folks that we had in here coming in here for a lack of snow. And so he sent me this picture right here, and I want you to see it here because it's on our Facebook page here. He's in the sleigh, one of the sleighs. Isn't that funny?
Let me get up here in front.
With him and the dog on the sleigh on grass on the hill somewhere. He said,
"Where's it?
Where's the snow?" So
Excellent.
So I talked to Greg yesterday. I was setting up his thing here. I said, you owe Doug Hewitt an apology. At least that's what he said. And then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose, and the sky opens up, and the snow comes. And so now I don't know that we owe anybody an apology.
No, you know what I pointed out? We had a group text thing. It's new here.
Right.
With our whole group that works here. And so it was a great thing to over-communicate because at first it was information, then it started getting kind of fun when we were laughing about where's the snow. Right. And so, yeah, one of the things that I said in the text, because of the fish, and what he said was, you just can't tell. He said this was one of the most unusual weather patterns, that they couldn't really predict it. They can kind of ballpark it. Then even if they ballparked it, it went to the ballpark down the other city.
Right, exactly. Well, anyway, but the coast got hit. Charlotte got hit. There are plenty areas up in the triangle still kind of digging out. And so, that's how that's going to be. We are going to have the fish here. And now I'm looking at you. What do you want to go? Do you want to tell your story now, or you want to?
No, I don't have a story.
Okay. Well, you spent the night here at the station, is my understanding.
Yeah, and it turned out to be a blessing and a strange thing of coincidence. Let's do this. Let's get to business as usual.
All right.
And coming out of the break, we'll have some fun.
All right. Well, we've got local weather right now.
Yes, sir.
With CBS 17 meteorologist Matthew Huddleston.
A very nice and sunny day, but also a cold day is in store, seeing highs just in the upper 30s. Mostly clear skies overnight, temperatures tomorrow morning back in the upper teens, and then increasing higher level clouds for the day on Tuesday, with highs finally back in the upper 40s. That's your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Matthew Huddleston.
All right, Matthew, thank you so much. Not much has changed in about 20 minutes. 19, that's the number. 19 degrees in Fayetteville, Rayford, and also in Pembroke. You're listening to News Talk 640. We're WFNC.
Del Hair Plumbing. Fast, friendly, reliable. Flush your troubles away. Del Hair Plumbing. Clogged drains? Call Del Hair Plumbing. Serving Fayetteville and surrounding areas. Fast and reliable. From leaks to water heater repairs. Flush your troubles away with Del Hair Plumbing today. 910-429-9939. Fayetteville's first radio station and still first in serving our community. News Talk 640 WFNC in high def at 103.5 HD2.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 55 and with one of the big three carriers, like Verizon, you may notice they don't talk much about their 55 plus discounts. That's so customers like you keep paying their regular higher rates to boost their bottom line. You deserve better service, with 100% US-based experts, better value, with plans starting at $20, and a company that's built for people 50 plus, like me. Not convinced? Give your current carrier a call, ask about the 55 plus plan you've earned, see how long it takes to get a real person on the line, and if they try to talk you out of it. But if you want something better, call Consumer Cellular. We've got the same great coverage, and our US-based experts can get you switched in about 20 minutes. Switch now to Consumer Cellular and get your second month free for a limited time. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com for your second month free.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
The CJ Pearson Show.
Every week, we'll take on the biggest cultural, political, and moral battles in America head on.
CJ presents the most passionate voices in the Black community.
When you're going around and talking to people in actual communities, you get to know what people actually care about.
As a Black man, why can't I be the first one in my family to graduate from college? Why can't it be me? Shift the way that I think about the world.
Bold truth, real conviction, zero permission. This is the CJ Pearson Show.
The CJ Pearson Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Good morning, Fayetteville with Gilbert Baez on WFNC News Talk 640 AM and now on 103.5 HD2.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. 1, 2, 3. Break it down now. Yeah, that's a song I keep forgetting to play when I'm at the club. Average White Band.
That'll get them on the floor.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah, on TV.
Again, goes back to the horn sections of these different bands back in the 70s. Everyone had one. All right. Hey, look, we got a fantastic show. We always have a good show. I just want to highlight some folks here. Now, because of the inclement weather, I've got like 4 or 5 people who are supposed to be coming in, and all the interviews will be telephonic. And so you got the numbers to call everyone. We're going to start off with Greg Fishel at about 7:10. And we're going to talk to him about the prediction and how there was a lag in the snow getting here, and everybody didn't think any was coming. At one point, he even texted me and said, "Man, I don't know what's going on, but the anomalies on the latest run says that Raleigh's not going to get anything, and Fayetteville may get an inch." And then that changed.
I know.
It changed big time. And so then he upped the change. But what I like about Greg is he's right there at the moment, and what he's talking about is the truth. He's not trying to hype it, and he's always been that way. And then you're going to enjoy this conversation. Unfortunately, Jeff Thompson from Bell Seed, it's his day to come in, and he's not going to be here. But I doubt that it will be anything less enthusiastic as he normally is when he comes in. It's important right now. We got snow on the ground. Nobody's probably thinking about their lawn and garden right now. But there are things that you need to be doing during the month of February that is critical. And so I'm sure he's going to line all that out. Then we have Charles Evans, who is a Cumberland County Commissioner candidate at large. I called him last night. We had a good conversation. He's going to call in at, actually all these folks, we're going to call them. 7:35, we're going to talk about his campaign. We're trying to talk to as many of the folks who are running for office as we can as we get ready to head up to the primary that's going to be taking place on March 3rd. And I'm not chasing people down. If you want to be on, that's fine. I've got state folks from state offices calling us wanting to be on. So if local folks don't want to call and be on, heck with them. That's what I say about it. So you got my number, 864-6400. You call the station and let somebody know, hey, I'm trying to get on. Good morning, Fayetteville. Tell everybody why you should elect me. I'm not chasing. Look, I've already called everybody I can call. And some people have, and some people have. We had Diane Wheatley in here last week. And so we're going to have good conversations with folks. If you want to be on, I haven't spoken with you. And at some point, we get a little bit closer to March 3rd, we're going to cut it off. Because I'm not waiting for somebody to wait to get a last little spiel in here on March 2nd. That's how I see it. All right. And then Phil Harris, who is the director of the Red Cross of the Sand Hills, they're right around the corner on Carroll Street.
Yeah.
But I told Phil just call in. There's a blood shortage that's associated with the Red Cross and just, I think, blood banks all the way across the country, just because that's what happens during this time of the year. And so he's going to come and talk about the need.
Well, actually, coincidentally, coming up in this next commercial break, we've got it's a commercial about the American Red Cross.
Okay, and so we're encouraging folks to give. Do you give on occasion?
Let's just move on.
Oh, that means no. Okay. Okay, and look, and that's not a negative thing because some people can't give for any number of reasons. And so if you can't, that's fine. But if you have the spirit and heart,
Absolutely.
then that's it. I try to give, and I haven't been as good at giving as I should be, so I'm trying to get back on track and do that as well. All right. Let's get back on track. Is there something you want to say and tell us? I know you stayed at the station. You want to share that now about what that was like and why you did it?
Well, it's really not about me. No.
Beetlejuice. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
What happened?
Well, I was kind of angst-riddled. I was, you can't sleep well in a hotel, and that's what the company arranged, simply because I didn't realize I had a leak in my gutters, and I kept on treating the brick steps, 20 brick steps up to my house. I just broke my neck. Suddenly I see I'm scared because the ice melt kept on getting washed away because of the leaky gutters at a place that I rent. And I love it in the rain when they leak, man. It's so soothing. And it never dawned on me until I looked up and go, whoops. And so for that reason, they put me up in a hotel, and I was very grateful to Tish Bowden and Kelvin. And so the move, I am here because I decided I don't want to mess with the hotel. I don't want to stare at four walls. And I said I can catch up with work. I spent the night, dude.
Yeah, I see a blanket or something there. What's the significance of that blanket?
My travel blanket, no matter where I go, call me Linus, but my Aunt Rosie, it's one of her quilts.
Oh.
And it's one of the ones, I have some stunning quilts that she made. That's what West Virginia people, the old people did. So that's the significance.
Okay. Yeah. And it kept you warm tonight, last night?
Yeah, it was still a rough night when the alarm went off for no reason. Really, I walked around the corner because Jeff Davis at Q98.
Right.
I guess he's a late night owl, and so I had already hunkered down here. I was probably asleep then.
Right.
And so he didn't know that I was here. He was going afterwards. He says, I wonder why Kenny's car is here.
Oh, so he set the alarm and left.
He set the alarm and left.
Yeah.
Now it had nothing to do with me. For whatever weird thing, and they're going to talk about it to the people, but all I did, I had to go to the bathroom.
Right.
And so I wake up, and you know the pattern, the walking down the hallway.
Sure.
And I turned one of those corners, and all heck broke
loose.
That's
a motion detector.
Well, I was because I was, right, okay.
Yeah, there's nothing to talk about. It's a motion detector. If y'all trying to sneak in here on us, we going to get you. No, you can't sneak in on Kenny when he's spending the night.
Well, check this out. Apparently, if it's considered a false alarm, there may be some things that you have to take care of.
Did police come?
Yeah, and
remember,
you can be penalized.
Look, you remember first day I moved in here, I didn't know anything about alarm. I came in and all heck was breaking loose. I just came back here and was getting ready to go on the air. And next thing I know, here comes an officer through the front door. Mm-hmm. And he was looking at me kind of laughing.
Yeah.
And so, I explained what the situation was. I didn't know how. And, back then when I came in, the alarm was still ringing to the former general manager who now is in Florida. So they woke her up. You remember that?
Yeah, and now it gets better. Listen to this.
Okay,
Change
what
the
happened?
Story.
Okay.
Oh. So I didn't know what the heck was going on. I kept hitting the stop key or whatever. There's a little code. And it wouldn't work. And I go, okay. I stayed calm. Said, you're going to have to wake up the general manager.
No, you didn't.
I did. What am I supposed to do?
Well, I mean,
the police could be coming. We could get a $250 fine.
Well, if you go out to the front door and put your thing on, that didn't stop it?
I didn't try that because that's not the point.
Okay.
The point is I tried to do what I thought, and I didn't think like you, and I didn't go all that way. I just, okay, it's not working. The code's not working.
Right, okay.
So I call her, wake her up, and she was on. Anyway.
You woke her up, she never sleeps.
You know how they changed the code and they had to call the ex-general manager?
Right.
3 months ago or whatever?
Sure.
Somebody apparently changed the code back in October.
What?
And she didn't know it. Nobody knew it. Nobody even can.
Wow.
And so I don't know how they figured it out. It took a while. But yeah.
They were able to turn it off?
Yeah.
Did police come?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. But I was awake at 2:30 in the morning, and it was kind of a blessing, Gilbert. I got to tell you. Let's see. I think we have time.
Okay.
No, let's hit it on the backside.
Well, we're going to have Greg Fisher right at the top, and then we start rolling with interviews afterwards. So who's our 640 replay?
That's the problem. I haven't figured that out. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, maybe we need to run what you getting ready to run here.
Yeah, it's only 5 minutes long. I'll think about it. Let's free flow. Backside, the little thing that I created because I was awake at 2 in the morning. And I don't know, the spirit of creativity. Hang on.
Well, you're going to play it now?
No.
Okay, well, look at 8:10, we have time after the news after 8.
Okay,
because we don't have anybody coming until 20 after.
Everything's cool.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing but a thing.
All right, right now, then, let's move on with what we're doing. You're going to figure out who we're going to have at 6:40. Okay. That's fine. But right now, we've got local news from CBS 17.
Good morning from the CBS 17 newsroom. I'm Bill Young. A winter weather advisory is still in effect this morning because of the cold and the snow on the roads refreezing, creating very slick patches of ice. The snow didn't melt on a lot of the side streets, and that makes them impassable. 3.5 inches of snow recorded in Fayetteville, although Pinehurst saw 7.5 inches hit the ground. The good news is temperatures will climb today to near 40. Most school districts throughout central North Carolina will either operate remotely or close entirely. Cumberland, Hoke, and Harnett are remote. Sampson, Moore, and Robinson are closed. And a heads up, FAST, Fayetteville Area System of Transit, closed today. 3 flights are canceled at Fayetteville Regional Airport so far as well. And as the extreme cold is officially here this morning, Duke Energy asking customers to reduce their usage until 10 this morning. Officials say that is when demand is expected to be at its peak as people wake up, turn on the heat, and businesses reopen after the weekend. A man is under arrest after a shooting inside a Fayetteville Walmart. It happened Saturday afternoon at the store on Skybow Road. Police say a woman was grazed by the bullet when the man she was with fired the gun. The pair then left the store together. Police tracked them down, and they determined the woman was not seriously hurt. The man was arrested and charged with carrying a concealed weapon and discharging a firearm within the city limits. The CEO of Cape Fear Valley Health will retire this year. Michael Nagowski's retirement takes effect on July 1st. He's been CEO since 2008. Chief Operating Officer and President of Cape Fear, Dan Weatherly, has been appointed to the role of interim chief. From the CBS 17 newsroom, I'm Bill Young.
A very nice and sunny day, but also a cold day is in store, seeing highs just in the upper 30s. Mostly clear skies overnight, temperatures tomorrow morning back in the upper teens, and then increasing higher level clouds for the day on Tuesday, with highs finally back in the upper 40s. That's your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Matthew Huddleston.
Wow, I've just checked the temperature. It was 19. Now 18 degrees, and feels like it's in the single digits. Fayetteville, St. Paul's, and also Red Springs. You're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Staples has hot deals and super low prices on everything for your business. And right now, brand your business at Staples with up to 30% off custom labels. Exclusions apply. Shop Staples in-store, online, or in the app. Ends April 18th. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Proud to be your hometown news and information source for 4 decades. News Talk 640 WFNC in high def at 103.5 HD2.
The American Red Cross is facing a severe blood shortage, and donors are needed right now to make sure life-saving care isn't delayed for accident victims, surgery patients, and those facing critical treatments for cancer and chronic blood disorders. The Red Cross blood supply has dropped about 35% in recent weeks. There's no time to wait. Make an appointment today to give blood by using the Red Cross Blood Donor app, visiting redcrossblood.org, or calling 1-800-RED-CROSS to schedule your donation. Take action and help save lives.
The Arts Council of Fayetteville, Cumberland County invites you to the grand opening of Arts XL, a brand new arts accelerator space built for makers, performers, and dreamers. Explore flexible rehearsal areas, collaborative studios, and dynamic creative space, all under one roof. Celebrate the opening of Arts XL with the Arts Council of Fayetteville, Cumberland County, February 5th from 4 to 7 p.m. at 214 Burgess Street. Brought to you in part by the North Carolina Arts Council, City of Fayetteville, and Cumberland County.
6 locations, 30 years of experience, convenience, thoroughness, clinical excellence. No one does it better than Nelson Nelson Chiropractic Centers. Hi, I'm Dr. Nelson at Nelson Nelson Chiropractic Centers. Since day one, we've been committed to our community. Know that when you choose Nelson Nelson Chiropractic Centers, a portion of those dollars goes right back to the community. Most recently, we've rebuilt the program at 71st Baseball. We've supported girls softball, the NC Challengers. We've supported Donnell Wolford's Veteran Bowling Day. We've supported boys traveling A baseball, the Savages, and Freedom Christian Girls softball, just to name a few. For 30 years, we've been student athletes' first choice, volunteering and treating kids of Cumberland, Lee, Robeson, and Harnett County for free. Nelson Nelson Chiropractic Centers, we don't just say we care for you, we prove it in everything we do. Truly working overtime to make a difference in our community. Now take it away, Debbie.
Nelson and Nelson Chiropractic Centers, we care for you.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 55 and with one of the big 3 carriers, like Verizon, you may notice they don't talk much about their 55 plus discounts. That's so customers like you keep paying their regular higher rates to boost their bottom line. You deserve better service, with 100% US-based experts, better value, with plans starting at $20, and a company that's built for people 50 plus, like me. Not convinced? Give your current carrier a call, ask about the 55 plus plan you've earned, see how long it takes to get a real person on the line, and if they try to talk you out of it. But if you want something better, call Consumer Cellular. We've got the same great coverage, and our US-based experts can get you switched in about 20 minutes. Switch now to Consumer Cellular and get your second month free for a limited time. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com for your second month free.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Good Morning Fayetteville with Gilbert Baez on WFNC News Talk 640 AM and now on 103.5 HD2 WFNC.
Got a beast of burden, and that's a good segue right into In My Heart this morning. 100 Days of Encouragement. Janet Gibson with photography by Cindy Burnham. I see you're moving out of range.
My life is disarray.
Okay, well, do what you got to do. I'm gonna go read this. We'll bring you back here after I read this here. This is day number 80. Ever notice how someone or some of the most giving people are those with the least amount to give, at least in the material sense? Yet they are the ones who make sure that others are fed, hugged, and loved. They will give their last dollar, the shirt off their backs, a ride, or a roof to those who have none, and say nothing about their gifts. They are among my heroes. Now that is a good one. You can't find the book? Is that what it is?
And that's all right. Wow, that was beautiful.
Yeah. That's okay. You're in disarray.
And you know what?
What's that?
No, I was listening very closely. And her writings and her musings are so profound to me because I know exactly, we know so many people
just like
in our lives just like that.
Exactly.
And sometimes they're not recognized, or sometimes, you know, my father was one of those people.
Mm-hmm.
He would go to extremes. He would take care of strangers if he saw that, the kind of guy that would, help somebody jack up their car.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And so he was one of those kind of guys that did that. My Aunt Rosie, she would do anything. She was a very poor woman, but if somebody came over and she was a great seamstress, just naturally, 88 years old, and if they needed their jeans patched or something, sure, I'll do it.
Well,
and she was always giving.
We have a ton of folks like that in our community as well.
Yes,
and that's the neat thing about
Yes,
this area down here, and that's why I like calling North Carolina home, and especially this area here in Fayetteville as well. So our hats off again to Janet Gibson, In My Heart this morning, 100 days. And that was day 80, once you know that. We only got 20 more days to go here before I finish the book, although Doris has read it twice. She's going to be on her own pace. She said, I like some of these things. Now, let me start. I'm not going to start making Doris voices. I have a good friend, Jay McCrae, who works on 107.7 The Bounce, and we've been friends, for 40-something years. And we're describing stuff to each other back and forth. I said, yeah, that guy said, man, I don't know why we're going to do this. We're going to do this. He said, did he sound like that?
Yeah, you're making the voices, man.
Well, it's one of our things that it's kind of a private joke between the two of us. He lets you go on to one or two sentences, and then he says, did he sound like that? Well, that's how I thought he sounded. Okay. All right. You come up with a decision on 640?
Yeah, we're going to go back in the archives. No, what I want to go into, and again, it's not about me, but it was. If you were listening earlier, and I know you were because you have your headphones on, but for those for just joining us, I camped out overnight. I just wanted to make sure I was here and I didn't have to deal with ice.
Right.
And so that was my choice. And so it was going okay. It was very sleepless. And so then suddenly the alarm went off. And that was at 2:30 in the morning. A big thing, nobody could figure out the code. So I was awake. And for whatever reason, I looked outside. I said, you know how I give you the information about when the biggest snowstorms were?
Right.
Well, I thought, wow, I wonder how that affected people. It was just one of those, I say it was like divine intervention. So I don't want to talk anymore really about this.
Okay.
I came up with something, and this speaks for itself.
Well, while you play it, I'm going to let both of us stay on camera, though, if that's okay with you, for those watching it. Okay.
All right.
Play it. Let's see what we got.
This story of Fayetteville you're about to hear, it's all true. Not only documented by history and verified national weather records. The most incredible, most devastating snowstorms of all time here in Fayetteville. So come with me, maybe close your eyes because, hey, this is radio. It's your rare chance to listen to this radio station's words and use your imagination. The families always gathered around the radio. Before there was television, the internet, and all the billions of distractions, that's how we communicated and kept our families together. Radio, stories, life. So come on, follow along for the next 2 short minutes. You were there. Let's go back to the time of the American Revolution. Did you know the very first official recorded snow to hit Fayetteville was in 1775? All right, let's move forward about 125 years and the most brutal snowstorm in the history of Fayetteville. It was the Great Blizzard of February 1899. A snowstorm that crippled commerce of the entire Cape Fear region. And when money stops, everything stops, except the funeral home. These words are from a log from the captain of a steam-powered vessel christened the Fear Nothing. Oh, my regret and sadness when I woke at 5 bells, only to witness my night watchman, frozen solid, holding onto the rail, dead and blue. And that was just the beginning. The temperatures hovered at -2 degrees for the entire month. The snowdrifts were nearly as tall as our shining Hotel Lafayette, which was 3 stories high and 35 feet tall. Of course, it was topped with a bell tower that stood overwatch at the corner of Hay Street and Donaldson. Nearly 100 people died in that snowstorm, and then we didn't have another one of significance till 1927. Fayetteville was glorious, glowing, thriving during the Christmas of 1926. But just 2 months later, in February 27, the snow fell. And fell and fell. Official history verifies 27 inches in just one single horrifying night. From the Bible of an Old Baptist church, we read this story about a sewing circle of 10 women, 7 of which passed on to heaven because of the storm. And then came the next great snowstorm of 1936 during the middle of the Great Depression. That year, Fayetteville lost many because that snow almost broke us during some of the hungriest times of America. But then we got a good-sized break from 1936 to 1947.
The Japanese have attacked Pearl Harbor and deliberately attacked. They have been shelling out.
That was 2 years after World War II, and although Fayetteville was still suffering, mourning the loss of all the men and boys who died in World War II, our fighting GIs continued. By then, we had another name of honor, the All-American Can-Do City. Fort Bragg was a shining star, and we were again changing, thriving, evolving. But there was a signpost up ahead. It was 1982. It was the beginning of Greed is Good and the Wolves of Wall Street. That's when the next big storm of magnitude hit us. Almost 12 inches fell in that storm. That summer, Fayetteville was once again a shining city. We were modern.
Come here, cutie. Hey.
The juke joints on Hay Street in the 70s like Rick's Lounge, the wild shows at the Seven Dwarfs, the Pump House, and of course, the infamous 500-block bar, the Oasis. They were all gone, and downtown was revitalized. Local businesses like Superior Bakery, the Continental Restaurant, Vic's Drive-Thru, the Archway on Fersen Street, and we loved getting a Shakey's Pizza to go and head for the Hillcrest Drive-In. And still, Fayetteville keeps changing. This weekend, we thought it was coming, and we waited, and waited, and waited. Nothing. And then when you woke up, you realized, okay, it was something. And that's when it hit me. I stepped out on the porch and I realized every time I heard a siren, I knew that Fayetteville's first responders were taking care of us. Thank you, Fayetteville Police Department, Fayetteville Fire Department, the ambulance drivers, and even Animal Control came together to save lives. So here it is, Monday morning, and we're okay. But if you ever need information, remember, News Talk 640, WFNC, and Gilbert Baez is here. And keep this website in mind, FayettevillenC.gov. This is the end of the story. We hope you enjoyed it, and take care of one another. The end.
Well, Kenny.
Sorry, I went overboard.
No, you need to stay at the station more often. Clearly. What a fantastic production that was.
Did you go back and did all the sound effects?
Well, that's what I was saying. You could have easily just read that. But in radio, for folks who aren't watching us, on the podcast, that's how it used to be.
Exactly.
You sat by the radio and you had those fireside chats, and you listened to the radio's shows that were, actually read out loud.
Yeah.
With a lot of enthusiasm, like we do when we have Sweet Tea Shakespeare in here in Cape Fear Regional Theater, and the Gilbert Theater.
All the comedies were radio.
That's right. Jack Benny. We're telling our age. But we were just youngins at the time.
Yeah.
And, the ironic thing about radio is my dad actually fixed radios and televisions back in the 1950s. It was Baez TV and radio. And there's a picture of my grandfather and my oldest brother, Albert, standing out in front of the shop with Baez TV and radio. I got to find that picture. I'll bring it in here. But, when you think back to before television, before the internet, before the cell phones and all that stuff, life sure seemed to be simple. You only had 3 channels to watch, ABC, NBC, and CBS, and streaming. What was that? And then Napster came along, and you can now download music that you don't have to go buy records anymore. Man, I'm telling my age, but that's how it was.
I'd like to point out even deeper that FM didn't really evolve and really become a thing until at least the late 60s, if I recall. So AM was the main.
Sure. I mean, it was
that's the only source.
WDAS-FM in Philadelphia was a station that we listened to with Georgie Woods and Butterball. And then what I think the transition that happened to make radio do what it did became, the fidelity was there. And then what we noticed on the FM was the FM station was playing the full length of the record, and the AM stations, they're selling soap and all that stuff. So your record couldn't be more than 2 minutes and 30 seconds long. And all of a sudden, these FM stations are playing Earth, Wind, and Fire's full song, 5-minute, verses. And the fidelity was, just fantastic because FM stands for frequency modulation as opposed to AM, which is amplitude modulation. And so the difference in terms of what the amount of frequencies that can be carried by each wave made a difference in the fidelity of the thing.
Right. It's the sine wave thing. It
there
goes
you go.
up and down in
Too
AM.
technical.
Okay.
All we know is FM sounds better than AM. Now, we're on AM 640, but we're also on FM too, 103.5, HD2, which is, again, how the technology has evolved. And for those of you who are listening to us on the podcast, you're coming straight from here off the internet, and we probably sound great.
Oh, yeah.
As opposed to the strain that you have on AM. Now, a lot of people don't understand that there was a time, because of the wars, that every American had to be covered by a radio station. And the AM station's amplitude modulation gave those stations the ability to be really heard over a great portion or a wider area, because the FM was frequency modulation, was line of sight. you had to be able to see the tower, and because of the curvature, this is really way too scientific. But it's the truth.
I understand it.
Yeah, and the bottom line is that's why the AM stations were so powerful, and so there were what we call flagship stations.
Right.
There were 50,000 watt AM stations, and so at nighttime, sometimes those flagship stations like WABC in New York, you can pick up a ball game up in New York down here in North Carolina because of the amount of coverage that those stations have.
But they were so good at what they did.
Oh, absolutely.
And it was a treat to get them. For me, I recognize maybe a lot of people from Charlotte. It's WBT. WBT is legendary for
Sure.
that. And so they've become a flagship station, just like you said, 50,000 watts
of
flame
full power.
throw,
You know, and stations like WIDU, for example, and I worked for Magic 1450. A lot of these stations at night, you had to turn your power down. You remember you had to.
We do.
Yeah. And some stations actually went off the air, and it's kind of neat that the kids can't even understand a station going off the air, and much less coming on with the national anthem every morning like we play. That's how stations came back on the air. And then there was this thing on television. Television signed off, and I watched television until television went off, and then the color bars came on, and that tone.
The Native American clothing is the one that I liked. It was comforting. Sorry.
Yeah. But you know, again, for those of us who are this age, in your 60s and your 70s, you think, you can say that, but if you think about what we have experienced over the course of 6 decades in comparison to what some of the kids, who've just lived for 2 decades, they don't know nothing. You know, there's a time we had to be in here and put a needle on the record. Didn't you have a shirt on the other day?
Yes.
33, 45, 78?
Yeah, I did, but, I don't know nothing about them either. I don't know who a Shibuzi is.
Yeah, okay.
Come on, man.
Well, we knew that. And even in this station right here, if we're doing what we're doing, we're getting ready to go to commercials right now, I'll say, News Talk 640 WFNC will be back after this. Boom. And I'd hit a button, and that 8-track cart would play the commercial. And we had to watch the commercials because the out cue was on the end of the cart, the last 3 words of the commercial. And then when that last 3 words came up, boom, you hit the next commercial.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Electrical Engineering 101. There will be a test, Mr. Baez.
Well, no, there won't. But, nowadays, the memo came out, and everybody else is working from home, and here we are. Because the technology is such that we can do radio from the house.
Nice landing.
Right. You're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC. We've got Fayetteville's most dependable forecast right now with Matthew Huddleston.
A very nice and sunny day, but also a cold day is in store, seeing highs just in the upper 30s. Mostly clear skies overnight, temperatures tomorrow morning back in the upper teens, and then increasing higher level clouds for the day on Tuesday, with highs finally back in the upper 40s. That's your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Matthew Huddleston.
Hi, Matthew. Thank you so much for all that. 18 degrees. That's all I got to say. 18 degrees. I'm not even going to tell you where. You're listening to News Talk 640. We're WFNC.
This report is sponsored by Aleve. Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. With just 1 pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches and pains hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
Always first in News Talk for North Carolina. News Talk 640 WFNC. Now in high def at 103.5 HD2.
A better life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
When screen time really